Good Joe, welcome back. Welcome back to another AFL video today. And we're checking out, was this the worst AFL season in history? Obviously 2020 COVID year. And it's a lot of stuff that was going on that year, obviously with COVID, stuff like that. But obviously with sporting wise, fans, we couldn't really attend games, stuff like that. The vibe was just off. But was this the worst year in AFL history? As always, we are going to check out, we are going to see what's on. Shout out to Caleb with the video. All credit goes to him. Should be a good one. Absolute great one. I'm excited. You're excited. That's it. That's crazy. See these intros, man. As always, hope you guys had a great new year. Tremendous new year. If you guys are still recovering, I don't know how, but hey, do what you have to do. Hopefully you guys stay safe and had fun. Anyway, if you guys are new to the channel, as always, don't forget to like the video and sub as well. Let's get it.
One thing AFL fans love about our game
Easy,
is
quick,
that
simple.
not much changes. You can expect 23 rounds, 20-minute quarters, and daytime September grand finals at the MCG, year in, year out. But of the 126 AFL seasons that have been played, there's one that completely stands out from the rest. One that brought with it bizarre rule changes, a league shutdown, and worst of all, a horrendous grand final. This is the devastating story of the 2020 AFL season. One that no AFL fan will ever forget.
Chapter 1.
AFL fans knew that the upcoming season would be horribly impacted by the pandemic running rampant in Australia. But just how badly it would be impacted, no one saw coming. Just one round into the season, AFL CEO Gillon McLachlan shut down the AFL entirely for an unknown period of time to slow down the spread of the virus, not knowing that his decision would cause a never-ending list of issues for clubs, fans and players alike.
And that was the worst part because, not only the AFL did that, but yeah, look at like other sports as well, like baseball, basketball, stuff like that, NFL, especially for basketball, it got shut down during the middle of the season. And obviously that was at the start of the pandemic, stuff like that. That's when we didn't even know how bad it was. And it was oh man, it sucks because, I think for a lot of us, sports was just something as a way to pass by, to watch stuff like that. Obviously a lot of us are really, really strong affiliate with our team, stuff like that, or just the league. So you're not able to watch your favorite sport, your favorite team, player, whatever, stuff like that. It does kind of suck. And that's why people who staying strong, stuff like that, being able to get through this, it's because I struggle at times, not having, something to watch, and, not having favorite sports to watch because it was shut down because of COVID. And now here you are, you
The
watch
AFL was sent into the
SpongeBob,
biggest
you know what I mean?
financial
You're
crisis
struggling.
the game had ever seen. With no revenue from tickets or TV advertisers, how could the AFL possibly afford to pay its players? 1 week after the announced shutdown, McLachlan came up with a solution. He proposed a 50% salary cut, which players reluctantly agreed to. Hawthorn legend Lee Matthews declared he had lost all respect for the 2020 playing group after they agreed to the pay cut, while Richmond great Jack Rewalt was more understanding, arguing that the players had a massive role to take on. But players weren't the only ones affected by the AFL's lack of revenue. Geelong two-time premiership coach Chris Scott felt it necessary to go without his entire 2020 salary to help Geelong's financial situation,
That's
as it was
nice.
the least he could do for a club that has been so good to him.
That's nice. That's
Saddest
awesome.
of all, up to 80% of staff from every club had to be stood down.
Damn.
And not just ordinary jobs like help desk or customer support. I'm talking strength and conditioning staff, football bosses, and even assistant coaches.
That was the worst thing about it, is that people that were losing jobs. A lot of us, didn't work. We always couldn't work, stuff like that. And, we kind of needed a outlier. And it just sucks because, COVID just messed up and affected so many people's lives, livelihood, careers, jobs, stuff like that, yeah, we get to see our, our favorite players, play, stuff like that. But at the same time, unfortunately at the cost of some people's careers and their jobs. So that was always the toughest part. That always just sucks.
People that would have a hard time finding another job. The AFL introduced new rule changes that completely changed how the game was played. The most problematic of these was reducing the length of quarters from 20 minutes to just 16. The shorter quarters created extremely low-scoring games, removing the many last-minute goals that teams tend to score during 20-minute quarters. In no other AFL season are teams regularly scoring only 30 to 40 points each week, like they were in the 2020 season. Even that year's premier Richmond was held to just 30 points on multiple occasions, with one of them even winning them a game over Sydney, who scored a measly 26 points, further proving just how low scoring the 2020 season was. The season was also cut to just 18 rounds, and obviously less rounds means less footy.
Right.
To say fans were completely and utterly disappointed would be an understatement.
Buddy's going crazy. Buddy's going crazy.
The AFL wasn't the only league impacted by the 2020 pandemic. That year's AFLW season was cancelled entirely midway through the final series, with no premiere awarded. Fremantle were robbed of a likely premiership. They went undefeated for the entire season and dominated the finals, beating Gold Coast by 70 points in the semi-final to claim the biggest finals win in AFLW history. Fremantle captain Cara Antonio says it felt like her heart was ripped out when she realised the AFLW season had been cancelled, robbing Fremantle of their first real shot at premiership glory.
That's a shame. So I wonder why they couldn't do it outside of, like, I'm assuming financial reasons, like the big reasons why they couldn't do it. But that sucks. That sucks. It was a chance for him to, potentially win it. That sucks. Jeez. That's crazy.
All club training was suspended immediately for all 18 AFL teams. 16 Adelaide Crows players received one-match bans for accidentally breaching this protocol, a sign that the AFL was taking the virus very seriously.
Okay, yeah.
Players were eventually allowed to train in
Safety
May,
first.
1 month
Safety
before
first.
the AFL season eventually resumed. And the scoreline of that round showed just how rusty AFL teams were, with Collingwood and Richmond's 36 apiece draw the finest example of this. When the 2020 season recommenced, players from pretty much every club were eventually forced into isolation hubs on the Gold Coast, known to us ordinary folks as luxury golf resorts. But I guess luxury resorts weren't good enough, because Richmond players Sydney Stack and Callum Coleman-Jones were fined $75,000 for leaving their designated establishment after
Hold up, my bad.
they were involved in a brutal street fight in the heart of the Gold Coast.
Where the hell are you going? You have a privilege, play the game, and then you out here in the streets, whatever. Now here you are getting in fights, probably getting, your ass kicked. Dude, just stay safe. Like, just take the necessary precautions as needed. Like, if I was a teammate and I heard that, but like, what are you doing? Like, come on, bro. Come on, man. Next thing you are losing money, which you already took a pay cut. And then you have to, pay the fine because you out here, in a street fight, whatever. Come on, man. Come on, bro. Like, come on, man.
Surface paradise.
Come on, man. Come on, bro.
Crowd attendance at AFL games hit all-time lows. Only 6,000 people per match. No crowd meant no atmosphere, completely ruining the viewing experience for TV viewers. The AFL tried to solve this with fake crowd noise, but that failed miserably. It just didn't feel the same. Combined with the low scoring, the AFL began to get really boring, and I found myself gradually beginning to forget about the 2020 season.
I know it was this bad.
That was until the 2020 AFL Grand Final, because coming into the series, I had false hope that the Grand Final would be played at the MCG, even if the last game played there had been all the way back in round 5. But of course, the venue chosen for that year's Grand Final was the Gabba, a stadium that could only fit 42,000 people, made worse by the Queensland government only letting 30,000 people in to watch the biggest game of the year. And to make it even worse, the Grand Final was played at night, and while Eddie Maguire was celebrating, happy that Channel 7 would attract more viewers, I was fuming. The best part about Grand Final day is hanging out with your family or mates, throwing on a barbecue, devouring some snacks, and watching a great game of footy, with a backyard kick at half time thrown somewhere in there. It's the matchday experience that makes Grand Finals great, something that the AFL ruined. More devastation would come in the actual Grand Final, when Gary Ablett sadly broke his shoulder in the opening minutes, a symbol of the broken season that was the 2020 AFL season.
Jeez. So Gary Ablett gets hurt. The attendance wasn't even full capacity. I mean, I get because you couldn't, because obviously they're still scared of the virus. The money was, the financial part of the AFL during COVID time was really, really impacted. I didn't know it was that bad. The AFLW part sucks because, obviously they wanted to compete, stuff like that. But that was just an unfortunate thing about them. But you can see why this was probably the worst season in AFL history. And I see it now. This was probably the worst season in AFL history. Just so much stuff happened. Just unfortunate stuff happened that came with the virus. But here we are now, man. 2024. Should be another good season, AFL season coming up. Very, very enjoyed last season. Like, this was the worst season ever. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. As always, don't forget to like the video and sub as well. Take care. Stay amazing. As always, I'll talk to you guys soon. Peace.